Bentley had not, however, been able to get the title. That did not go with the estate, although it was small comfort. What was the point in being a titled lady, thought Jane, when one's hands were cracked with chilblains and most of one's dresses in rags? She had no hope of meeting any young man who might marry her and take her away, any young man of her station. Mr. Josiah Plum, the widowed farmer who was their nearest neighbour, had come courting, and to Jane's horror, her stepmother showed all signs of encouraging the match, although Mr. Plum was nearly 50. "Jane!" A faint scream was borne on the wind. A flock of pigeons wheeled up to the darkening sky. Jane sighed and stretched. Her stepmother was looking for her. She decided to ignore the call and stay a little longer, and shifted her body slightly so that she was screened from the house by a thick branch of the tree. The only comfort she had was in these rare moments of solitude, when she could dream that somehow she, Jane, would be instrumental in winning back those lost estates. "Jane!" The voice was louder now. Jane turned her eyes away from the house, as if looking in that direction would bring her to her stepmother's notice, and looked instead to the Surrey woods, bare and skeletal against the sullen sky. It would have never happened had Mother lived, thought Jane. Her father owed his marquisate to his wife's adroit politicking in the court of St. James's. He had been a mere earl when he married her, and she had been the most beautiful woman in London. Sometimes, when he was in his cups, the Marquis would stare at Jane and say she grew more like her mother each day, and each time Jane would slip away and study her face in the old greenish looking-glass, but failed to see any likeness. Her mother had been a brunette, of magnificent and Juno-esque proportions, with creamy skin, large liquid eyes, and a long straight nose. Jane was very small, little over 5 feet in height. She had inherited her mother's masses of thick brown hair, but her eyes were long and tilted and grey. Her face was white and thin, with a pointed chin and strange thin eyebrows which flew up to her hairline. Some gallant in the days of their wealth had said she looked exactly like a fairy, with her strange eyes like sea-water on a winter's day, and her strange brows. Jane often dreamed of a rich husband with all the fervour and passion of a toon-ish mamma launching her daughter on the London season. "Jane!" The voice sent the pigeons flying again, up round the fantastic chimneys of the house. Jane sighed and climbed down from her perch. There was no rich husband, and in any case she, Jane, was not possessed of enough beauty to attract such a suitor. Perhaps she would marry Mr. Plum with his fat red face and fat red hands, and beget fat red children. Hetty, Marchioness of Westerby, spied Jane's slight figure hurrying back across the fields, and turned and went into the house. She was looking forward to her evening at the Bentleys with her usual insouciance. She was in her 32nd year, a brown-faced woman with flashing dark eyes and a mane of coarse black hair. She was content with her lot. A drunken husband was one of the realities of life, and Hetty, Marchioness of Westerby, certainly knew all about realities. She was happy that this charming and dissolute lord had taken her away from her brutal father and bullying brothers. She had never had any social life to speak of, and so did not miss the almost total absence of it now. The gentry had come to call in the first weeks of their marriage, and also a few members of the aristocracy. But in an age when moderation was all and when enthusiasm was considered a dirty word, Hetty was found lacking. Her blousy looks and her wild swings of mood from elation to drunken bad temper had shocked them in the extreme, and to her relief, they ceased to call. When her husband occasionally won a card game, she cheerfully spent the money on hiring help from the village of Westerby to clean the house, and ordered a bale of silk so that Jane could